situation. With the proliferation of e-wallet providers in Malaysia, choosing an e-wallet to download and use can be a challenge. In our group, discuss what factors users should consider when choosing an e-wallet. What factors should users consider when choosing an e-wallet? First, security standard. Second, rewards and incentive. Third, wallet size and transaction.
Hello and good morning. My name is Ainul Mairah binti Muhammad as the candidate A.
My name is Nurul Alia binti Muhammad Zukri as the candidate B.
My name is Ulfa Nur Ali binti Muhammad Atari as a candidate C.
My name is Nur Sayyidatul Muttaqin binti Abdul Wahab as the candidate D.
Good morning to all. We will now discuss and try to come to a decision on the most important factor to consider when choosing an e-wallet. As we gravitate towards a world of digital payment and e-wallets, the most important factor to consider, in my opinion, when choosing an e-wallet is security standards. The main thought of any individual's mind, especially when it comes to money, is if I am depositing my money in a safe place. Users want to make sure that the payment system is licensed and secure. Bear in mind that Bank Negara Malaysia has strict guidelines to regulate e-wallet providers to ensure that security standards are rigorous to prevent fraudulent activities. E-wallets use security protocols like two-factor authentication and one-time use PIN numbers. I am sure that security standards will be the key factor when choosing an e-wallet.
Yes, I do agree that security is important, but I think that there are many users who will consider the size of the e-wallets as well as the number of transactions as very important factor when choosing an e-wallet. As we know, most e-wallets are fairly secure, but they differ in the limitation on the monthly and annual transaction. For certain e-wallets, there are no limits for some transactions like transportation, but they are for others. For example, Touch 'n Go. Their premium tire has an e-wallet size of 20,000 ringgit Malaysia with an annual transaction limit of 300,000 ringgit Malaysia. For some users, there may be too much and yet to others it may be too little. So I feel a user will choose an e-wallet that suits his needs. This will be the user's priority.
Both candidates A and B have put forward for a convincing argument. However, I beg to differ. I am of the opinion that rewards and incentives are significant factors that users would consider. Any user considering using an e-wallet would like to know how they are going to benefit by registering for the particular e-wallet. Just like an individual will shop around for which bank is going to give him or her the best interest rate for his or her savings. Some users are of the mindset that it has to be a win-win situation. The rewards and incentives offered are factors that would encourage them to pick that e-wallet and use it frequently. So for me, it is the rewards and incentives which will be the deciding factor.
It's true, the size of the e-wallet rewards and incentives are important. However, I must agree with candidate B that high security standard will be the number one factor for any individual when selecting an e-wallet. I would be like all the users who are looking for an e-wallet that is incredibly secure and offer minimized risk of fraudulent activity compared to credit cards. Every day you read in the newspaper as well as on the newspaper how criminals are able to hack into people's account or even how easy they are able to obtain password. Furthermore, if it can be tracked more reliably, that will definitely reduce potential instances of fraud. Now, don't you think this is the most important factor to consider when choosing an e-wallet? There must be high security standard.
I could not agree more. As a consumer, my first and foremost thoughts when choosing an e-wallet would be if it is safer and more secure than cash, debit cards, or as candidate C mentioned, credit cards. It is a normal human instinct to desire security. For example, when we buy a house, we want to make sure it is in a safe area, and then we go to great lengths to make sure we have the best home security system. The same goes for our cars. Why high security standards are important?
That is true, but wouldn't potential e-wallet users want to choose an e-wallet that is user-friendly and widely accepted by many organizations? Wouldn't that be very convenient for e-wallet users? What is the point of having an e-wallet if I can only use it for limited transaction?
Yes, you do have a valid point. This is especially true for users who travel frequently. They will firstly want to make sure that the e-wallet is accepted in most places and can be used for overseas transaction. This will be very convenient for the users. Imagine if you could use it only in certain places, that will limit the choice and number of transactions for e-wallet users.
True, if an e-wallet cannot be used at any particular outlet, users would not hesitate to register for another one. However, if an appropriate security system and authentication mechanism are not in place, users would not have the confidence to use the e-wallet. A high security protocol will definitely boost users' confidence to use the e-wallet. I know I will.
Candidate C has put forward an interesting and valid point. When users are confident in using the e-wallet, more organizations and business outlets will accept the use of e-wallet payment. In honestly, if I were to choose an e-wallet, the security protocol of the e-wallet will be a key factor of consideration. I can buy and make payments securely and frequently and conveniently. Candidate D, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, being able to use an e-wallet confidently, knowing that the security protocols are of high standards and definitely a very important factor. Users want to know, as candidate B mentioned, that there are strict guidelines to regulate e-wallet providers to ensure that security standards are rigorous. That would deter fraudulent activities. I agree that high security standards will be the key factor when choosing an e-wallet.
This is because the e-wallet users are able to use the e-wallet confidently and without any worry or fear.
Yes, I would to choose an e-wallet that has high security standards with strong biometric authentication.
After listening to the points put forward by candidate B and C, I do tend to agree that high security standards is the number one consideration when choosing an e-wallet.
That's good. So we are all in agreement. Thank you for your contribution and participation.
That's all from us. Thank you and bye.